Was it 91 when it closed because of all the
Yeah,
gangs and gun violence? That yeah,
yeah, and it reopened, but the idea was it reopened because they said they can't, they couldn't continue, and guarantee the safety of staff and punters. And I don't think anything had changed when they reopened again because I think they just needed to open because otherwise they couldn't pay the bills. But nothing seemed to change that much. They kept changing whoever was doing the door, and so a different set of gangsters, kind of took over. So you know, it was just it wasn't just the Manchester thing. I know it happened all over the place, and it was like um, the the response to by some clubs in London was absolutely on top, and they would actually flush all the gangsters out. And actually, I mean, but it involved a lot of heaviness to be able to do that. You can imagine. So, and I just don't think anybody had the will or the way or the wherefore to actually do it in Manchester. I don't. There was just a trust with certain people that wasn't borne out in the end. It's just they trust some people to actually, well, I'll do this for you. In fact, they'd ended up being gangsters themselves. So it was quite frustrating and galling because it's a great club and it was getting ruined. Um, I mean, its final demise is kind of, I always think it's a bit annoying because I mean, really, if there was a problem financially, the council really should have seen the value of the place. We saw once it closed that there was a drop in student applications to Manchester and a rise in student applications in Liverpool, where Cream was now taking over. Do you know what I mean? It's an asset to any council, and they've got something like it's like the Eiffel Tower of bloody Manchester. It's like I don't know. It's not quite the right metaphor, but it's a great advert for the city, and you've got a great club. People, it's important. I know I've got kids myself now growing up there. What's the club scene like in whatever city they're playing university to? They want to know. And we didn't need, most people didn't need to be told that Hacienda was like a beacon for so many, for so many generations. So, or so many, a generation or so anyway. Um, so yeah, it was a bit galling that it was left to rack and ruin in the way because, in the end, I say Rob Gretton, who was the main financier by the end of it, just had enough. It didn't owe that much money, but I don't think anybody wanted to continue with the drain on their own personal finances. But yeah,
could you see a shift then when like from say like 88, 89 to 91 where the gangs did start coming in and the drugs and stuff and
um, I mean, there's drugs involved in any scene, and be it going by, be it rock and roll, jazz, everything's got drugs involved in it.